welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Anik. Welcome. We are doing some pretty fun Vinyasa today. So we'll be doing a lot more advanced postures, intermediate postures, and we're really going to get deep into our muscles. Without further ado, if you have a mat and you want to join, feel free to join. Even if you don't have a mat, you can do a few stretches with me and just go about your day. But we will start. I have the camera angled this specific way because we're going to get up and do some postures standing up eventually. All right, let's get started. So start off sitting down on your mat or on the floor, crossing your legs, however it feels comfortable to you. And we'll just take a moment to breathe through the nose, sit nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and down, away from the ears. Tuck your chin towards the chest. Option to keep the hands on your knees just like this, or maybe the palms facing up. Just depending on your energy, whether the palms face up or down, it's up to you. You're also more than welcome to place one hand over the other in your lap, or maybe one hand over the heart, one over the belly. Just gently taking a few breaths. This is one of the few moments of stillness that we will have in the class. And if this is only the first time out of your day that you've found stillness, then this is definitely for you. Take a moment to really scan the body, understand what it feels like to be you today, noticing if there's any tight muscles. Excuse me, guys. I'm having a really dry throat all of a sudden. Let's just take 2 more deep breaths. And gently open up the eyes when you're ready. And we'll go for some nice twists to the right. Left hand on the right knee. Right hand behind your back on the floor. It's going to help prop you up. We're going to inhale, straighten the spine. On the exhale, push into the knee and gaze back. Keep the shoulders down, away from the ears. One more deep inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, back to center. And moving to the other side. Right hand, left knee. And then left hand behind your back for support. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, gaze forward. Release. And we'll go for some right hand on the floor. Left hand overhead. Keep going. And to the other side. To the left. Inhale, center. And then we'll release our legs. Go for some cat-cows. Hands under the shoulders. Knees under the hips. Really make sure that you're spreading out the fingers nice and wide. Go ahead, drop the belly, hips up towards the sky. Gaze up. Exhale, round the spine, drop the head. Really push the spine towards the ceiling, gazing past the legs or towards the belly button. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine. Keep going on your own. Some cat-cows. Gently opening up the spine. Flip the wrists so that the fingers point towards the back, towards your knees. And then you can go for the same thing, cat-cow, hips up, belly down. When you round the spine, you're going to feel that stretch in the forearms, inside the arms. And keep going. And exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Release the hands. And we'll be doing some stretches for the wrists here. So you're welcome to do some circles, just allowing your weight to make its way onto each finger, circling towards the right, clockwise. And then same thing with the other direction. Gently applying pressure, making sure that not all the weight is just on the wrist, but distributing it away around on the hands. There's another beautiful stretch that we can do here too by flipping the hands to the top of the hand on the mat. You can try placing weight just like this, changing hands, noticing the difference. So on the floor, it would look like this. So you have your hands like that, and then changing on the floor, top of the hand on the floor. If eventually you feel comfortable having both hands on the floor like this, top of the hand on the floor and pushing down, you can try it out, see how it feels. And that would look just like this. Taking your time, pushing into the floor and breathing. Go ahead and release when you're ready. And we'll curl the toes under, push the hips up, drop the head, walk the dog, pedal out the feet. Get nice and comfy. Maybe drop the hips side to side. All right, find the perfect down dog, hips towards the ceiling. You're pushing the floor away, gazing past the legs or towards your belly button. And so it's really important that you're pushing the shoulders away from the ear. You don't want to dump into the shoulders like this. You don't want to round the spine like this. You're really keeping the arms straight, the back straight. If you need to bend the knees in order to keep those two things straight, then go ahead. The heels don't have to be fully down in order to have a perfect down dog. Eventually, with practice, your legs will be able to extend and lower down. But for now, if this is the best you can do, stay there. Go ahead and rock your head side to side. Shake it yes and no, up and down. Allow your neck to release its tension. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale, let's walk towards the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the knees. The spine is straight. On the exhale, we're going to bend our knees, place our bellies on the thighs, wrap our arms around, and drop our head fully down, pointing the top of the head down towards the floor. Once again, shake your head yes and no, side to side. And little by little, you can release the arms, you can grab the elbows if you want, and gently begin to extend the legs little by little. You can sway gently side to side if that feels good to you today. And do try to apply a bit of pressure, a bit of weight onto the front toes as well. So not all of the weight is on the heels. It's distributed equally. That way our hips can be directly over our heels. All right. From here, we're going to drop the right hand towards the floor, bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight. The left arm reaches up. Option to stay here, You'll feel the stretch in the left side of the leg, a little bit of the psoas. It's really great, especially for tight legs and glutes. If you'd like, you can place the left hand behind your back, open up the shoulder, keep gazing up. Deep breaths. Last one, inhale. And exhale, left hand comes down. We're gonna bend the left knee, straighten out the right leg. Same thing with the other side. Right hand towards the sky. Option to stay here. Another really great option, if you do have a block or props, maybe even a fat cooking book, you can place it under the hand if that helps you to find more of a comfortable variation. And then there's that option to place the right hand behind your back. Keep gazing up towards the ceiling. Keep extending the right leg. Inhale, hand comes back up. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, extend the spine forward, hands on the knees. And exhale, clasp the fingers together behind your back. Pull them up towards the sky. And exhale, gently fold down. Hands away from the lower back. If you need to bend your knees in order for this to work for you, go ahead. It can look like this. Hands away from the lower back, releasing the neck, the head. Another variation could be extending the legs, just like this, and allowing the upper body to fold down. One more deep breath. Keep pushing those hands towards the front of your mat, hinging from the hips. And exhale, hands on the hips. Gently microbend the knees. And root to rise, come gently up to standing into mountain pose, vertebrae by vertebrae. Beautiful. All right. We'll start some sun A's, or sun B's, I mean. However, we'll be doing a little variation. You won't see my hands when they go above, but all they do is place the hands together like this in prayer. So, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, gently folding forward, hinging from the hips for Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. For these, you can always place your hands on your knees. As long as your back is straight, you can lower your hands down towards your ankles or towards the floor, as long as the back is straight. Chaturanga. Let's start by stepping the left foot back, dropping the knee, opening up the chest. And then stepping back, high plank. Let's do a supported chaturanga to start. Dropping the knees, dropping the chest, and inhale. You can stay in cobra, just like this, hands on the floor, arching your spine, lifting your chin. However, if you'd like for a deeper stretch, you can push into the palms, lift your knees and hips off the ground, let the head fall back. Continue to push the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, down dog, hips towards the sky, and right leg reaches up. Take a moment here, extend the leg. If you'd like, you can bend the knee, open the hip even more. Let's do 3 circles of the right leg in each direction. It's possible that your hips pop while doing this, and that's normal. However, if you don't want the pop, you can always make a smaller range of motion, and that should usually help. Inhale, 3-legged dog, left leg or right leg is reached all the way up. Exhale, we're gonna plant the foot between our hands at the top, drop the back knee. Inhale, arms overhead. Bend your elbows at a 90-degree angle. This is called cactus arms. And we're gonna arch our spine, drop the head back. And back towards the floor. Going for our chaturanga dandasana. High plank. If you'd like to drop the knees in the chest, go ahead. If not, shift your weight forward and then lower, low plank, low push up, inhale, up dog. Opening up the chest and down dog. Inhale, left leg towards the sky. Take a moment here, bend the knee, open the hip. Option to stay there or go for your 3 circles with each direction. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step between the hands. Open up the chest and reach the arms overhead. Once again, bend your elbows. Drop the head back, cactus. And back down, chaturanga dandasana. Either supported with the knees and chest or elbows grazing your sides. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, you can walk or hop towards the front of the mat. So either walking towards the front like this or hopping. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. All the way back up to standing, hands in prayer over the head and in front of the chest. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg towards the sky. We're going to go directly into our supported crescent pose. Arms reach overhead. Cactus your elbows. Open the chest. And exhale, half vinyasa. You can go through the half vinyasa if you'd like, or go directly to down dog if your body is a little tired and could use the rest. Other leg. Left leg reaches up. Exhale between the hands. Drop the back knee, arms overhead, cactus your elbows. And exhale, back down. We're going to go directly into the other side to finish. Right leg lifts. Exhale between the hands. Cactus. And finally for our last side. You got this. Dog. And down dog. Left leg for supported crescent. Last one. Cactus. And half vinyasa. Lower down to your knees. Drop the forehead down. Take a breather. You can roll your forehead on the mat, on the floor. And we're going to walk our hands towards our knees. Separate our knees here. And we'll lower down into a puppy pose. So there's going to be a few variations that you can choose from. But we're going to go deep, opening up the chest, opening up the stomach, and really curving the lower spine. So once you're ready, we'll walk our hands forward. I'll actually scoot a little further down so I stay on the mat. Our hands are going to slide forward. Our hips are going to lift up. So you can have the chin stay on the floor or the forehead. Go ahead and lift the hips up, melt the heart towards the floor. What I meant by the chin being on the floor could look like this, or the forehead could go on the floor like this. Really is depending on the flexibility of your shoulders and your chest. Your hips should be directly over the knees. So not that the hips are staying back like this or to and forward like this. You really want it directly over the knees, heart melting towards the floor. Another variation here is lifting the hands up, having prayer hands. This helps to open up the shoulders even more. You can always have blocks under the shoulders as well, but that is much more advanced. So it's up to you guys. Another option can be lowering the hands down, curling the toes underneath, and lifting the knees up. It just depends on your flexibility. When you're ready, we're going to curl the spine, drop the hips down, and lower down into our Sphinx pose. Elbows on the floor, pushing our shoulders away from the ears, spine nice and tall, extending the neck. You can bring the legs together here, and you're still pushing into the mat, so I'm not dumping it into my shoulders here. I'm still keeping my body very engaged. And what you can imagine is, imagine you're trying to pull yourself forward with the elbows. So those elbows are pulling back. It's almost like you could honestly like army crawl forward. So it's that engagement. Another great option here in Sphinx pose is doing some head circles. Dropping the head clockwise, taking your time, stretching out the neck. And in the other direction. Keep pushing the floor away with the elbows, with the palms of the hands. And then finally, coming back to center, we're going to move our hands to the outside diagonally, lift our elbows up. And if you want, if it's accessible, you can walk your hands closer towards your hips. And then once again, don't jump into the shoulders like this. You're still pushing away, lifting the chest, extending the spine and the neck. Option to let the head fall back. Relax the glutes. This is called seal pose. So you can actually imagine a seal doing this, in the harbor or on the beach. When you're ready, drop the chest back down, hands on each side of the chest on the floor. We're going to curl our toes under and gently push our hips for child's pose. The forehead touches the floor slightly. And then eventually lifting the hips up. Down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, we're gonna go for our full flow. When you're ready, extend the right leg all the way up. We're gonna bring the knee towards the nose at the very top. Around your spine. Drop the foot between the hands at the top. Inhale, arms overhead. Move your legs however you can so you have a nice stance. You're able to drop down into the hips nicely. Knee directly over the heel. From here, drop the back heel and the arms. Warrior two. You're gazing past the right middle finger. Make sure you're still opening up the left shoulder. It's not, rolled inward like that. You're still extending, moving, rotating the arm outwards. From here, reach the right hand towards the back. This is called, oh, I'm extending my leg. Reverse warrior. Let's extend the front leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach forward with your right hand and gently lower it down. You can have your hand on the shin, like the ankle, or you can drop your hand down towards the floor all the way, extending the left side of the body towards the sky. The left hand is completely over the head. It's not over the shoulder. It's as far forward as can be. We're pushing this hip forward rather than backwards. Option here to stay where we're at, or else we can bend the knee and go for this deeper variation. This is called side angle. You have the option here as well to go for a bind under the leg and behind your back. Opening up the shoulders, gazing up towards the sky. The back view of this looks like that. So behind me, it looks like this. So coming back to the side, we're going to release the bind, open up the arms, and change hands. Left hand on the floor, pick up the back heel, right hand towards the sky. We're going to go on the outer edges of our feet here, allowing our hips to lower down. This is a really deep stretch for the back of the right leg and the inside of the thighs and the hips. Inhale, back up, hands on each side of the foot, and gently step back. Go for your half vinyasa, elbows grazing your sides. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg all the way up, three-legged dog. We're doing the same thing with this side. Planting the foot between the hands. Reach the arms overhead. Crescent pose, back heel is lifted. We're really, going deep into our hip flexibility here. Drop the back heel, arms lower down, warrior two. Making sure that front knee is bent. We're finding your strength here. Keep those arms lifted. Reverse your warrior, reach back, left arm overhead. And gently into our Trikonasana, triangle pose, extending the front leg, drop the left hip, reach forward, and then you can place your hand down on the ankle, the floor, or a book, or a prop, like a block. Right hand reaches overhead. You're stretching out this entire side. So once again, you're not pushing your hips back like this. You're really making sure that there's one straight line from the right fingers down to the right heel, parallel to the mat. Option to stay here or bend your knee. Going for side angle. Option to go for a deeper bind, opening up the chest. Option to gaze down at the floor, or if you feel confident, you can slowly gaze up towards the ceiling. Release your bind, open up the arms, and change hands. Lift the back heel. This is called dragonfly twist. And we're going to go on the outer edges of our feet to feel our hips. Outer edges, drop the hips down. Left hand reaches towards the back of the mat. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands on the mat. And step back for your Chaturanga Dandasana, which is in the half vinyasa. Go ahead. Up dog and down dog. Directly, same thing. You're gonna go a little faster Going for a crescent pose. Lift the arms up. Exhale for warrior two. Yeah, we're getting sweaty, aren't we? Reversing our warrior. You can keep that hand on the floor or on your leg or behind your back. And going directly for our Trikonasana triangle pose. Side angle. Option to bind behind your back. For those who want more of a challenge here, some of you guys are probably like, what? As if we need more of a challenge. But you have the option here to lift the back leg with the bind behind your back. You can attempt to lift that back leg up. If not, we're going to release the hands. Dragonfly twist, right hand towards the ceiling, back heel is lifted, and go to the outer edges of our feet. Drop the hips down. Inhale back up. And once again, half vinyasa or just meet me in down dog. Last time on this side, moving into our crescent pose. Exhaling, warrior two. Inhaling for reverse warrior. Exhaling for Trikonasana triangle pose. Inhaling, side angle. Exhaling, optional bind. And option to lift the back leg up. And you'll notice that each side is a little different. I find that I have a bit more of a challenge with this leg, and that's fully normal. When you're ready, release the bind, and moving into our dragonfly twist. Outer edges of the feet, lowering down. Inhale back up, and exhale, finally finishing up this flow with a half vinyasa. Shake your head, yes and no, side to side. And finally, lower the knees down, lower the hips down, child's pose. Take a breather, grab some water if you need. We're gonna go into some camel prep. This is really great for the spine, and that's the reason why we did puppy pose. So you're gonna lift up onto the knees. Make sure that really you're tucking the pelvis underneath. You're not pushing the hips back like this. You're really trying your best to keep your spine straight from the knees all the way up to the head is a straight line. We'll be placing our hands on the lower back, opening up the shoulders, the elbows towards each other. Push your hips forward and let the head fall back. Keep breathing. And gently tuck the chin towards the chest. Come back up. We're going to go for this 3 times in total. Second time, we're doing the same exact thing, pushing the hips forward, dropping the head back for camel prep. Go ahead. Chin towards your chest, rise back up. You can do the exact same thing or go a little deeper. If you would like to go deeper, you just drop your hands towards the ankles or the heels and allow the head to go back. So once again, hips go forward, head goes back, reach for your ankles or heels, open up the chest, let the head fall back. Chin towards your chest and gently rise back up. What I'd like to do here is apply pressure on to my upper thighs, release my lower spine, gently dropping the hips down towards the heels. Bring your knees together. It's going to help your lower spine when you lower down in child's pose. Allow the forehead to lower down, arms to be fully relaxed. All right, we'll go for some thread the needle. So for thread the needle, we're staying primarily in a child's pose position, except our knees are separated here as much as you can. You can walk your hands forward, and we'll be inhaling, lifting the right hand up towards the sky. Exhale, thread it under the left arm, lower down onto the right ear. An option for the left hand to go behind your back. Go ahead and relax the neck, relax the head. Option to close down the eyes, and you should feel the stretch on the outside of your arm, into the shoulder, into the trapezius a little bit, into the shoulder blade. And go ahead on your next exhale, placing the left hand back on the mat. Inhale, right hand reaches up. Exhale, back down. We'll do the same thing for the other side. Left hand reaches up. Exhale, under your right arm, lower down. Reach forward with the right hand if you'd like, or you can place it behind your back and tuck it between your thigh and stomach. Once again, option to close down the eyes. Allow your neck to release its tension, for the weight to be on the shoulder and the arm, and taking some deep breaths. On your next exhale, the right hand comes back down, left hand reaches up, and exhale down towards the mat. We'll be ending our class with some support, not supported, but just normal pigeon towards the front. We'll be starting with the right leg, oh my goodness. Right leg towards the front. We want to shimmy the foot forward. So the knee can be on the outside of the mat. And then we shift our hips. So the goal is to eventually have a 90-degree angle in the front knee like this, but it takes a lot of practice. So just find what works for you. And a good tip of mine that I always use is to reach back. Just notice your glutes. Notice if there's one hip or one glute that is higher than the other, and adjust it so they're around the same height. Once they are, it means that your hips are in the right place, the right angle. You can inhale, extend the spine. On the exhale, you can lower down onto the elbows if that feels right, and maybe eventually onto the forehead, reaching the hands forward. I will also show you, just in case this hurts your knee, there's another variation that you can take instead, which is on your back, and it is placing the right leg over the left, like this, grabbing the back of the thigh or the knee in front and just pulling in. So that's an option for those who have very sensitive knees or joints in general. But if you're in full pigeon, keep at it. Breathe deeply. This is where we hold a lot of tension, A lot of our emotions end up manifesting here one way or another. And that may show up as discomfort when you're doing this pose. So the best thing you can do is keep breathing very deeply, and it helps your nervous system to calm down. When you're ready, we'll inhale, walk the hands up, open up the chest. You have the option to stay here or reach right hand towards the left foot. Even if you're like this is great. If you're able to grab your foot, amazing, that's also great. And if you're able to pull the foot towards the hip, that's also great. You have those three options. It might feel really intense, especially if you bike a lot or you're a runner. This can be really intense, so go slowly. Just like me, I've been biking a lot, so I feel it a lot into my thigh and my hip right now. Go ahead, release the bind. And we'll be circling the back leg in front, just like this. And I'll move so you guys can see. You have the option here to place the heel in front of the knee like this, or fully over the knee, making sure that the sit bones are on the floor. You want your knee pointing up towards the ceiling, left hand behind your back. Inhale, right hand all the way up. Exhale, hook the elbow over the knee and gaze back behind you. Option to place your fingers together. This is what we call a mudra, just a connection of fingers together. And it, just depending on your energy, how you feel today, you'll choose what feels best to you naturally. We'll do two more. Inhale, extending the spine nice and tall. Exhale, twisting, gazing further back like an owl. And last time, inhale, straight spine. Exhale, twist deeper, gaze back. Inhale, gaze forward, and release your bind. Shake it out. You can do some windshield wipers like this. It's really nice for the hips and the joints. And we'll go for the other side. So once again, our goal here is to bend the left knee. It's going towards the outside of the mat. And what I mean by that is you don't have your knee like this. You're pulling the foot towards the inside and then just checking your hips so they're at the same level, finding that right angle. Inhale, open up the chest, prepare. Exhale, gently lower down onto the elbows if that's accessible. If not, you can always go deeper too if you feel called to do so. If you have some knee pain or this is too intense for you, like I said before, feel free to go on your back and do the same thing with the legs. Deep breaths, because that's what's going to get you through this. Lift the head up, walk the hands towards the knees. Option to stay here with the hands, just opening up the chest. Or you can reach back, left hand towards the right foot. This is a great place to start. If not, you can also grab your foot if that's accessible. And then last option, pulling the foot all the way in towards the hip, lifting the elbow up. Stretching out the thigh, the hip. Breathing deeply. and release. Circle the leg in front. And I'll move so you guys can see. First things first, make sure those hips are on the floor. Spine is nice and tall. The heel is in front of the knee or behind it. Right hand is behind your back. Keep the spine nice and straight. Left hand overhead. Exhale, hook it over the knee. Push into your leg, gaze back. Inhale, extend the spine nice and tall. Grow an inch taller. Exhale, to push into your leg, gaze back. One more time, inhale. Exhale, gazing further back like an owl. Inhale, gaze forward. Release your bind. Shake it out. Shake your legs, windshield wipe your legs side to side. And our last thing before Shavasana is Dandasana. So you have an option here to stay with your legs stretched out in front of you, feet flexed. We're going to be placing our hands on the floor. Everything should be engaged here. Your abs, your legs, maybe even your heels lift up off the floor. And for me, my arms are not quite as long as my upper body, so you can see my palms lift up, but I'm still pushing my hands into the floor as much as I possibly can. I'm extending my back as tall and as long as possible, tucking my chin in towards the chest, shoulders down. 5 more deep breaths here. Keep engaging. Lower back is straight. You're not curving the spine. If you need to be against a wall, that can work too. Maybe separate your toes. Keep flexing your feet. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Straighten your spine. And on the exhale, fold from the bottom of your spine and grab either your ankles, your shins, or the outsides of your feet. Whatever you grab, we're going to take a moment to inhale, extend the spine, open the chest, and on the exhale, fold down. Maybe you can bring your elbows out towards the side. What I mean by that is just bending your elbows and then dropping your forehead. Shake out your head if that helps you to feel more relaxed. Inhale, extend the spine once again. Find alignment. And exhale, last time, folding in. And unbind, release your muscles and gently lower down vertebrae by vertebrae towards the floor, onto your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. Feel free to take up space. Maybe the hands and the feet go off the mat. Shimmy your shoulders underneath. Tuck your chin slightly in towards the chest. And we'll just take 5 breaths to finish off this class. If you feel called to stay in Shavasana longer, feel free to pause the video or come back to me later. Otherwise, take your rest. You deserve it. And last deep breath in through the nose. Return to your normal breathing. And when you're ready, on your own, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles, taking your time, just gently reawakening the body. Maybe your head goes side to side. We're going to extend the arms overhead, point your toes, take a nice big stretch. Maybe the back goes off the floor. And we're going to bring our knees towards the chest. Pull in, nose towards your knees. Rock on your lower spine. Gently massaging the lower back. And we'll fall over to one side of your choice. Use your arms as a pillow for fetus pose. Get comfy. And eventually find your way to a seated position. Spine is straight, crossing your legs if that feels right. Hands in prayer in front of the chest. Thank you so much for practicing with me, for spending this time together. I appreciate you all so much. Namaste. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed it and that it fueled you in one way or another, and that you feel your body has opened up and that you have challenged yourself. That's what we want at the end of the day, to be challenged. Thank you. Bye.